It's Tuesday, January 14. In the headlines, garbage from St. Thomas dump site being trucked to Riverton in Kingston. Island-wide activities planned for Earthquake Awareness Day on January 15. In business news, micro, small and medium enterprises concerned as banks ignore requests to lower interest rates. Regionally, U.S. Barbados ambassador urges Caribbean to boost climate resilience. And in sports, we go to football. Trinidad and Tobago and Jamaica's international friendly matches set for next month. This is the news on PBC Jamaica. I'm Simone Absalom Gale. Garbage from the St. Thomas dump is being trucked to the Riverton dump in Kingston. However, there are a few concerns. The matter was brought up at the last meeting of the St. Thomas Municipal Corporation. In 2020, it was announced that the Church Corner landfill in that parish was to be relocated owing to health and environmental concerns. Councillor for the White Horses Division, Hubert Williams, is concerned about the organization of the trucks being contracted to carry the garbage to Riverton dump site in Kingston. He pointed to how the loads are measured.
You can't quantify something. Government can't quantify garbage or any material by loads. That is a real robbery. And I want to make that clear today. You can't measure. When you go to school, anybody will go to school in this room, I've been over all of those school. We have never quantified anything by loads. Mathematics cannot be done by loads. I want to hear tons, cubic yard, something like that. The unit of measurement is wrong because that setup is somebody repart the system.
He further explained how the current system works and suggested how it can be improved.
How I know garbage move is by ton. It's the most consistent measurement, a unit of measurement that you can use. You have a scale, you weigh the truck, you have the M2 weight of the truck, you weigh the truck before, when the truck reaches its destination, loaded, or when it's leaving the loaded destination, it weighs again.
Medical Officer of Health for St. Thomas, Dr. Diane Smith, expressed his concern.
One of the things that we're particularly concerned about, though, is that it is to be transported in a safe manner, that there's not going to be leachate going out onto the roads or other garbage, solid waste that is blowing off the trucks. So we made that recommendation and we're happy that this risks the public health of the dump being here. And unsightliness also, but it's a serious risk. There are heavy metals, bacteria of any kind that could be leaching into the river. And so we're glad that this is being sorted out.
January is being observed as Earthquake Awareness Month. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, will spearhead a variety of activities increasing awareness of the threat of earthquakes on the island. January 15 will be observed as Earthquake Awareness Day under the theme Prepare for the Quake, Reduce the Impact of the Shake. The Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management, ODPEM, will invite schools, communities and businesses across Jamaica to participate in this initiative on January 15 and 16, respectively. Chanel Matthews has more in this report.
January 14, 2025 marks 118 years since a 6.5 magnitude earthquake affected Jamaica. Approximately 3:30 p.m. on January 14, 1907, the island was rocked by an earthquake which devastated the North Coast, Port Maria, Buff Bay, and Anota Bay. Kingston wasn't spared the wrath of the natural disaster and was severely impacted.
Over the years, we have seen a number of activities happening in January, and one of that activity was the rededication of the 1907 mural, which is at the at Bumper Park.
Yes,
and they did a lot of work in terms of renovating the park and just bringing awareness for persons to have an appreciation that there is an area in Jamaica that has been set up to commemorate what happened in 1907, and a number of the persons that actually died in that event, they are buried at Bumper Park, which is same location as Stats.
Yes.
So that's why we have taken the month to be Earthquake Awareness Month of activity.
There is no way we can predict an earthquake. However, drop, cover, and hold on are ways in which we can protect ourselves.
Always be prepared and go over and over again your response to an earthquake. So drills, keep in mind, prepare things around the house, like, that things can fall off, off the wall. We need to prepare that. Ensure that you're always prepared in terms of even a suitcase with some emergency equipment, because when an earthquake occurs, it's going to be 10 to 20 seconds. Most people, because they're not prepared, by the time the 20 seconds is up, they just realize it's an earthquake. So we have to make sure that we're fully prepared at all times and constantly go through the drills.
Chanel Matthews reporting for the news on PBCJ.
The third staging of Exercise Event Horizon 2025 began in Kingston on January 13, with Vice Admiral Antoinette Weems-Gorman highlighting the importance of multinational cooperation for regional security. The exercise, involving 500 participants from 14 nations, simulates real-world threats to test readiness and coordination. Danita Rodney points out key details from the event.
That was the key feature of the opening ceremony, the sale and flypast of maritime and aerial assets. Exercise Event Horizon 2025 brings together 14 nations, 33 agencies, 11 aircraft, 9 surface assets, and more than 500 participants. In her address, Chief of Defense Staff Vice Admiral Antoinette Weems-Gorman highlights the multinational, multi-agency collaboration driving regional peace and security.
This multinational, multi-agency and multi-domain exercise has grown since its inception, and the exercise now is a good symbol of our commitment to regional peace and security and our resilience. This year's iteration is not merely an exercise of military and other security institutional capability, but it is also a demonstration of the enduring partnerships we have built across borders, agencies, and domains.
Vice Admiral Weems-Gorman stressed the importance of collective security.
This year's exercise will test our ability to respond collectively and effectively to real-world scenarios, ensuring that we remain ready to protect our respective countries. The exercise serves as a reminder that security is not the responsibility of one nation or one institution, but it is a shared duty. Together, we stand stronger. I urge each participant to approach this exercise with the utmost discipline, professionalism, and commitment. Embrace the challenges ahead, learn from one another, and contribute to the spirit of partnership that defines this exercise.
Brigadier Elon Clark, the officer scheduling the exercise, shared insight on the cyber component of the event, which will be conducted simultaneously across several countries.
This year, Event Horizon will incorporate a dedicated focus on cyber operations for the first time. This new dimension underscores the growing importance of cybersecurity in our cooperative defense and resilience strategies. The cyber element of the exercise is particularly significant because it will be conducted simultaneously across several participating countries, further demonstrating the multinational construct of Event Horizon. Incorporating cyber operations
challenges us to think innovatively, collaborate seamlessly, and strengthen our digital defenses as a united front.
The exercise, which runs from January 12 to 26, coincides with the 6th anniversary of the Maritime Air and Cyber Command, with activities taking place across Jamaica, the Cayman Islands, and offshore Haiti. Reporting for the news on PBCJ, I am Danita Rodney.
In this Living Healthy report, we delve into the safe administration of drugs to treat tropical diseases. Tropical diseases are a group of diseases that are prevalent in tropical and subtropical regions. They include communicable and non-communicable diseases, genetic disorders, and diseases caused by nutritional deficiencies and environmental conditions like malaria or dengue. The World Health Organization has published a handbook to guide health authorities.
Neglected tropical diseases today affect more than 1 billion people worldwide with severe health effects. We can reduce their impact with timely interventions. Chemoprophylaxis is an effective intervention involving the mass administration of drugs to a defined population, regardless of the presence of symptoms or infection. The World Health Organization has published a handbook that provides information, guidelines, and practical tools to be used by national neglected tropical diseases programs in planning, preparing, and monitoring safe drug administration to treat these diseases. Drug safety is an essential factor in achieving the acceptance and confidence of the target population. This document is intended for public health workers, distributors of drugs to the community, community agents, national managers of neglected tropical disease programs, pharmacovigilance and communication, NGOs, and donors. Drugs donated by the World Health Organization are pre-screened at the time of manufacture, thus guaranteeing their quality, safety, and efficacy. Standardized protocols and procedures have been established in order to coordinate the supply chain and ensure adequate and safe transportation and storage. The handbook puts special emphasis on drug safety, as well as on the response in case of potential adverse effects that should be reported to the authorities and to the National Pharmacovigilance Centers. They must be registered and reported to the country's regulatory body and to PAHO, and a response and follow-up must be provided. If adverse effects occur, they are generally mild and transient. Dialogue and the combined efforts of the different programs and agencies working to fight against neglected tropical diseases are key in this process. Close coordination between the neglected tropical diseases, pharmacovigilance, and communication programs is essential for the success of mass drug administration. A good communication strategy is essential in order to be prepared in the event of adverse effects, avoid rumors and incorrect information, and uphold the confidence of the population. Download the handbook, which sets out the stages and important points aimed at achieving the success of mass drug administration.
Time now for the business report with Denise Williams.
Welcome to today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, here to bring you the stories shaping the financial world and guiding your journey to smarter business decisions. Let's dive into the top headlines. After failed attempts to persuade bankers to lower interest rates, the MSME Alliance now turns to the Ministry of Finance. President of the MSME Alliance, Antoinette Hamilton, says her team will be meeting with the Finance Minister, Favour Williams, on January 17 as a result of meetings with the President of the Jamaica Bankers Association, Audrey Tugwell Henry, and her team failing to produce the desired outcomes. Despite 4 actions to lower interest rates by the Bank of Jamaica, this has not trickled down to consumers. Tax Administration Jamaica says the approximately 9,000 persons whose application for the $20,000 reverse income tax credit were rejected have up to January 31 to reapply, RJR News reports. It says these individuals have up to 11:59 p.m. on that date to resubmit via the online platform at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm/RITC. Under the Reverse Income Tax Credit Initiative, some $11.4 billion is being made available to eligible taxpayers. The TAJ says since the October 2024 implementation of the one-off payment, some 343,086 Jamaicans have received disbursements totaling $6,861,720,000. For the trading period ending January 13, 2025, these were the most actively traded stocks. Cigarette distributor Carreras Limited with 5,213,640 units traded represent 29.97% of market sales volume. Alternative energy provider Wigton Energy Limited with 2,596,139 units traded representing 14.92% of market sales volume. Toll road operator Trans-Jamaican Highway Limited with 2,194,444 units traded accounted for 12.61% of market sales volume. Shifting focus to the Forex market, on January 13, 2025, the Bank of Jamaica reported US $45.96 million was purchased and US $53.75 million was sold by Forex traders. Traders earned $1.29 per US dollar, selling it at $156.95 and buying it at $155.66. The Canadian dollar netted $1.79 in profit per transaction, with selling at $109.58 and buying at $107.79. The British pound yielded profits of $2.30 to traders, selling at $189.67 and buying at $187.37. For our credit report tip of the day, we want to just reiterate that your credit score is a tool, not your identity. With determination, you can rebuild your financial health one step at a time. Here are a few tips. We're encouraging you to review your credit report. Get the facts. You are entitled to a free copy once a year, and you can then look for errors. Next, pay on time. Late payments hurt, and as much as you can, automate bills or set reminders to stay consistent. Then pay down high interest debt. Focus on the highest rate accounts to save money and reduce balances faster. Now we turn to resilience and recovery. For professional women over the age of 45, recovery and resilience are possible one step at a time. Here's a roadmap. We're encouraging you to revisit your skills, upskill or reskill to stay competitive in your industry. Consider certifications, courses, or even mentoring others for income. And then create a realistic budget. Yeah, a lot of us have an imaginary math going on in our life because we're carrying a lot of family pressure. You need to separate your needs, your wants from what you're carrying for your family. Limit unnecessary expenses and allocate funds to savings before your family, particularly after the age of 45. Stick to it because your future self will thank you. And that wraps up today's business report. I'm Denise Williams, reminding you that every financial decision is a step toward your future. Until next time, stay focused, stay informed, and keep striving for success. See you soon.
In regional news, in Antigua and Barbuda, students heading back to the University of the West Indies Five Islands campus later this month will find upgraded lab facilities and expanded administrative services. These improvements are part of a major expansion project funded by an $80 million loan from the Saudi Fund for Development. Ursula Charles Jr. has the story.
This is the master plan for the expansion of the University of the West Indies Five Islands campus, spanning a proposed three-phase build-out made possible with the support of an $80 million loan from the Saudi Fund for Development. While plans progress, campus officials have been keen to ready the campus and its systems for the major overhaul to come. We spoke to campus principal, Professor C. Justin Robinson.
So we have some upgraded lab facilities that are going to be available for the start of this semester beginning next week, as well as some additional admin. And also we are in the process of investing and having the installation of the university-wide enterprise management computer system, which again will be necessary to managing an expanded campus.
The principal confirms a fairly extensive university management computer system will be fully operational later this year.
In terms of the computer system, that will be fully operational by August 1. So that's a fairly extensive investment in this university-specific management system called BANA. So that's about a $5 million investment.
And lab facilities are already operational.
The physical adjustments to our existing plant are already operational. So students coming back in January 20th are going to have better lab facilities to operate with, as well as staff with some expanded admin.
The university in 2024 received a special citation from the Society of College and University Planning for its exceptional master plan in the 2024 SCOP Excellence Awards. The plan will see the relocation of the Five Islands Primary School and the construction of dormitories to accommodate overseas students and the build-out of instructional complexes to advance state-of-the-art teaching and learning. Professor Robinson foresees the educational impact of the expansion will be immense, but he also forecasts the university will be an economic engine.
Clearly, we're going to require a lot more support services, providing food and other entertainment services for these students who are here ongoing. I often think of students as the ultimate long-stay tourists, so I think there are a lot of opportunity there. Administratively, we have to provide admin services, opportunities as lecturers, full-time and adjunct.
Project coordinator CJC and Associates Inc. is leading the campus physical planning framework. Lead coordinator Colin John Jenkins has noted the project will boast 224,805 square feet or 20,855 square meters of sustainable and climate resilience university campus. For ABS News, I'm Ursula Charles Jr.
The outgoing U.S. ambassador to Barbados and the Eastern Caribbean, Roger Nihos, is urging the region to step up its preparedness for climate change threats. Speaking on Morning Barbados, Ambassador Nihos highlighted the need for resilient infrastructure after witnessing Hurricane Beryl's devastating impact. He also revealed that during his year-long tenure, he helped to secure nearly $1 billion in financing for climate resilience, energy transition, and humanitarian projects in Barbados and St. Kitts and Nevis. Ambassador Nihos departs the island on January 20, coinciding with the U.S. presidential inauguration.
I think Prime Minister Motley is absolutely right to raise the alarm bells. I think the second is security because of climate, and I think because there's so much attention and resources being poured into climate, sometimes security isn't as robust. So a lot of countries don't have military. They have, local, forces, defense forces. Maybe they have a Coast Guard. I think having a more robust security is, I think, really important, and I know it's something the United States is really interested in supporting. I see that not only from trafficking of narcotics, guns, people, but it's also illegal fishing. And I also see one of the biggest risks is the lack of U.S. private sector here. There are so few. I mean, I come from the private sector, and looking around and meeting people, there are so few American companies here, and there should be many, many more. And that's something that I hope to support on the outside.
A new era begins for St. Lucia in 2025, with Prime Minister Philippe J. Pierre highlighting the achievements of 2024 and committing to renewed efforts for national development. He emphasizes unity as the key to progress and the nation's shared future.
Let us pledge to build a better St. Lucia together in 2025.
Prime Minister Philippe J. Pierre delivered his New Year's address to the nation on Sunday, January 12th, striking a resolute tone. The political leader urged citizens to reflect on the challenges and opportunities of the past year, while committing to collective actions that can drive the nation toward greater prosperity.
As we start this new year, it is an appropriate time to reflect on our lives, to recognize our shortcomings, and to celebrate our gains. It is also the time to resolve to do better and commit to changes in our thoughts and actions so that our individual lives may contribute to the advancement of our country and humanity.
Prime Minister Philippe J. Pierre called for an end to divisive bickering, the stoking of instability, and political animosity. He urged all citizens, regardless of political affiliation, to prioritize the national interest over partisan differences.
In the exercise of our individual rights to freely associate with others, politically and otherwise, we must never lose our humanity and fairness in the way we deal with others who may be different. Let us always remember, we are one St. Lucian people with a common destiny and a shared purpose to make our country a better place for ourselves, future generations, and visitors who come to our shores to enjoy the beauty of our island and its people.
St. Lucia designated 2024 to 2025 as the year of infrastructure. Pierre notes that efforts will intensify in 2025, with major projects aimed at modernizing critical sectors like healthcare, affordable housing, and transportation networks.
Several new roads were built around the island in 2024, noteworthy being the $10 million Majomel Road in Lamb. Work will continue this year on the Chaussee Road and roads in Vieux-Fort South and Vieux-Fort North, among others. We expect the Millennium Highway and East Coast Road to be completed in 2025. In 2025, a new potholing patcher truck will be commissioned to improve the road surface in the island.
Prime Minister Pierre urged all citizens to join in building a stronger future, one that prioritizes improved public services, robust infrastructure, and sustainable economic growth for all. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
In sports, we put the spotlight on football as the Soca Warriors are gearing up for a tough test against the Reggae Boys with 2 international friendlies set for Jamaica next month. More from TTT Sports.
The Trinidad and Tobago senior men's football team's next assignments will be 2 international friendlies against the Reggae Boys in Jamaica. Both games, hosted by the Jamaica Football Federation, will take place outside the FIFA international window and will serve as preparations for the upcoming CONCACAF Gold Cup prelims in March. The first fixture will take place at the Catherine Hall Stadium on February 6th, while the second will be played at the Anthony Spalding Sports Complex on February 9th in Kingston. The friendlies will also see a matchup of head coaches as TNT's Dwight York come up against former England head coach Steve McLaren.
And that's it for the news on PBCJ. You can follow us on our social media platforms at PBCJamaica. Thanks for watching.